In this lecture, we are going to talk about first order differential equations. So in the last lecture, we've already seen separable differential equations. Now we will see how to solve first order differential equations. So what is first order differential equation? So first order differential equation will be of the form dy by dx plus p of x into y is equal to q of x. Okay, so why is it first order? Because the derivation is only once with respect to x, right? So it is just first derivative of y with respect to x. Okay, so this is your first order. Okay, so in this first order differential equation, you can see that this equation is not separable in terms of y. Like even if you take y to the denominator, then you will have a y here also in the denominator. So this is basically not going to be separable. So you are not going to be able to neatly separate all the y terms to one side and all the x terms to the other side. So we have to devise some other method to solve such an equation. So let's see. So here, for example, here q and here p and q are functions of x in general, right? So p or q might be constant. If both p and q are constant, then it will be separable. But if either p or q are not constant, then you will see that the equations are not separable in general, and then you will have to use this method that I am going to talk about now. So let's see what the method will be. So we need to derive a formula to solve for y. Okay, so let's see how we can get the formula. So first of all, the equation itself is of the form dy by dx plus p of x into y is equal to q of x. So this is your equation. Now what we'll do is we'll multiply this entire equation with a variable mu. So let's multiply it with mu all over. So if we multiply all over, then every term is going to be multiplied by mu. Now let's see. Now according to product rule, of differentiation, what will happen? So what is product rule? Product rule is nothing but if you are going to differentiate a product of u of x into v of x with respect to x, then you will get u into dv by dx plus v into du by dx. This is what you are going to get. So basically you will get two terms. So we can do something similar here. So the two terms on the left hand side are these two terms. So let's see. So we'll do mu into dy by dx plus mu p of x into y. This is similar to u dv by dx plus v du by dx. Okay, so let's see. So what we'll do is we'll consider that v is equal to y and u is equal to mu. Okay, and so this one is nothing but, so this is your du by dx into v, and this is your dv by dx, and this is u. Okay, so we can write it as dv by dx is your dy by dx, okay, and du by dx is your mu into p of x. Okay, so let's see. So what is this? So this is u is nothing but mu. So we have d mu by dx is equal to mu into p of x. Okay, now if you look at this equation, this is obviously separable, right? Why is it separable? So let's write it again. So d mu by dx is equal to mu into p of x. So this is separable. What I mean by that is you can take mu to this side and dx to the other side. So on the left hand side you only have terms containing mu, and on the right hand side you only have terms containing x. Now you can integrate this easily. So what you will get is, you will get ln mu is equal to e power p of x dx. Sorry. So ln mu will just be integration of px dx, and mu will be e power integration of p of x dx, right? So this is one formula that you have got for mu. Now what we have to do is, now we had written d by dx of mu into y was giving us mu dy by dx plus y into d mu by dx, right? So this is what we were having. So let's now compute this, and this was nothing but our mu into dy by dx plus y into mu into p of x, right? Okay, and this is nothing but, what is your right hand side? Right hand side is mu into q of x. Okay, so now we have d by dx of mu into y is equal to mu into q of x. Okay, so we can do d of mu into y is equal to mu into q of x dx. Alright, so this is our integration. So now because these two terms are inside d and then we are integrating over, so this will get cancelled. So we are left with mu into y is equal to mu into q of x dx. Okay. So finally y will be nothing but 1 by mu into mu q of x dx. Right. Now what is mu? Mu is nothing but e power integration of p of x dx. So if we call integration of p of x dx is equal to I, so this is known as the integrating factor. So then this will just be e power I. Okay. So if mu is e power I, so let's write down. So mu is e power I, and we were getting y is equal to 1 by mu q of x dx, right? Okay. So here in fact there should be an integration constant, right? So here also you will get c by mu. Okay, so here you will get c by mu. So now we can just substitute. So y will be nothing but e power minus I into e power I q of x dx plus c into e power minus I. So this is your formula for y. So whenever you have an equation, right, which is of the form this. So let's see. So whenever you have an equation which is of this form, then you should always use the integrating factor method. And what is the integrating factor? The integrating factor is mu, which is e power I. Okay. And if this is the integrating factor, then this is your formula for y. So here let's write it fully, where where I is equal to p of x dx, given that the differential equation is of the form What is the differential equation form? dy by dx plus p of x into y is equal to q of x. So this is the, given this equation, the formula for y is this. Okay, so now let's do a problem so that you understand better. So solve for y given that dy by dx plus y is equal to e power x. Okay, so now let's write it in the form. So we have dy by dx. So this is obviously non-separable, right? So you can see that even if you take y below or anything like that, this will not be separable. So this is dy by dx plus p of x into y is equal to q of x. So if you compare these two equations, you will see that p of x is 1 and q of x is e power x. Okay. So now we can find the integrating factor. I is nothing but integration of p of x dx, which is nothing but 1 into dx, so you will get x. Okay, so I is x. Okay, and what is the formula for y? Y is nothing but e power minus I, e power I q of x dx plus c into e power minus I. Okay, so now let's write it down. So we have e power minus x, e power plus x, right? What is q of x? Q of x is e power. Q of x is also e power x. So e power x dx plus c into e power minus x. So we are going to get e power minus x power 2x dx, right? Remember, if you are doing a definite integral, if you have been given conditions for definite integral, then you won't have this integration constant, okay? Because then that integration constant will be computed because you are doing the definite integral, okay? Alright, so now y will be e power minus x, and now let's compute this integral. This will be e power 2x by 2 plus c e power minus x. So you are going to get e power x by 2 plus c into e power minus x. So this is the solution for y. Okay, alright. Now let's do another problem. So x ln x into y dash plus y is equal to ln x. So y dash is nothing but dy by dx, right? Okay. So now let's try to solve this equation. So first of all, there is something here. So there is a prefactor associated with the dy by dx, right? So we don't want that prefactor, right? Because the actual form of the equation should be p of x into y is equal to q of x, right? So how do we remove this? We can just divide it throughout. So we'll do, so this is nothing but your dy by dx plus 1 by x ln x into y is equal to ln x by x ln x. So these two get cancelled, so you are only going to get 1 by x here. Okay, so if you compare this equation and this equation, you can see that p of x is 1 by x ln x and q of x is 1 by x. Okay, now we have to find the integrating factor I, which is integral of p of x dx. Okay, so this is your integration. This integration is what you have to do. So if you look at ln x, right? So you can take ln x equal to u, alright, and then if you take ln x equal to u and then differentiate this whole thing, you get 1 by x dx is equal to du. Okay, so now if you see dx by x is equal to your du and ln x is equal to u. So your integrating factor becomes du by u. Now you can just integrate this and you will get ln u. Okay, if you integrate this. Now you can substitute for u in terms of x. So you will get ln of ln x. So this is your integrating factor. Okay. So integrating factor is ln of ln x and y is given by e power minus I e power I q of x dx plus c into e power minus I. So all you have to do now is substitute for all of these and then calculate this integral. So you'll get e power minus ln of ln x, integration of e power ln of ln x, and what is q of x? So q of x is nothing but ln x, right? No, sorry, q of x is nothing but 1 by x, right? We have found. So q of x is 1 by x. So let's substitute that here. So it is 1 by x dx plus c into e power minus ln of ln x. So as you know from the rules of exponential and logarithms, this is with the base e and this is also with the base e. So e power minus ln to the base e, right? So what will this become? Right, so let's write it. So e power minus ln x is nothing but e power ln x whole power minus 1. So this and this, right, these two can get cancelled and you will get ln x power minus 1. So this is going to be 1 by ln x. Okay, alright, and then you have e power ln of ln x and this is now going to be just ln x. Alright, so now we can solve our equation. This is going to be e power minus ln of ln x per ln of ln x 1 by x dx plus c per minus ln of ln x. Alright, so this is nothing but your 1 by ln x. This is nothing but your ln x 1 by x dx plus c by ln x. Now all you have to do is compute this integral. So how will you compute this integral? Again you can take ln x to be u and therefore 1 by x dx will be du. Okay, so ln x into 1 by x dx will be nothing but u du, which is u square by 2. And what is u? U is ln x, so you'll get ln x whole square by 2. So you're going to get y is equal to 1 by ln x whole square by 2 plus c by ln x, which is ln x by 2 plus c by ln x. So this is the solution for y. Okay, so you understand how to do this. So you just have to plug in your formula and then compute the integrations and you are done. Now let's do a word problem like we have done in the past. Now let's read the question. So radium decays to radon, which decays to polonium. The decay rate is proportional to amount of substance at a time t. If at t equal to 0, sample is pure radium, how much radon does it contain at time t? Okay, so radium, right, so the decay rate of any, so let's write down what is radium, radon and polonium. So let's consider amount of radium at time t is N1, amount of radon at time t is N2. Okay, so let's write down the equation for radium. So radium decays to radon. So dN1 by dt is proportional to minus N1, right? Because it is decays, it will be minus N1. So this is nothing but dN1 by dt is minus lambda 1 N1. So lambda 1 is the constant of proportionality. Alright, then radon, there is radium decays to what? It produces radon. So the amount of radon at time t will be equal to lambda 1 N1, right, minus lambda 2 N2. Okay, so lambda 1, so whatever is lost here is gained here, and then the radon also decays to polonium. So there will be a minus lambda 2 N2. So now we have to solve these two equations. So let's first solve dN1 by dt equals minus lambda 1 N1. Now you can see that this is a separable equation, right? So we can straight away compute the integral. So we can write dN1 by N1 equals minus lambda 1 dt and then take integrations on both sides and we'll get ln N1 is equal to minus lambda t plus constant. So now we can assume that at t equal to 0, amount of radium is equal to N naught. Okay, so then if we substitute that, we'll get ln N1 is equal to, at t equal to 0, this will be 0 plus so ln N naught is equal to, at t equal to 0, amount of radium was N naught. So ln N naught is 0 plus C. So C is nothing but your ln N naught. Okay. Alright, so from this equation we can get ln N1 is equal to minus lambda t plus ln N naught. Right, so we can have ln N1 minus ln N naught is equal to minus lambda t, which is ln N1 by N naught is minus lambda t. N1 will be N naught into e power minus lambda t. Okay, so this is your N1. Now we can find what is your N2. So the second equation was dN2 by dt equals this plus lambda 1 N1 minus lambda 2 N2, which is nothing but lambda 1, what is N1? N naught e power minus lambda 1t minus lambda 2 n2. Now we can write it in the form of y dy by dx is equal plus p of x into y is equal to q of x, right? So how can we write it in this form? So this will be dn2 by dt plus lambda 2 n2 equals lambda 1 n naught e power minus lambda 1 t. Okay, so this is your p of x and this whole thing is your q of x. Now all we have to do is we have to find integrating factor, which is p of x dx, right? So lambda 2, so this has to be p of t, right? P of t and q of t. Because it's in terms of t, so this is p of t and q of t. P of t dt, so this is lambda 2 dt, which is nothing but lambda 2 t. Alright, so your n2 is e power minus I e power I q of t dt plus c into e power minus I. So we have e power minus lambda 2t e power lambda 2t lambda 1 n naught e power minus lambda 1t plus c e power minus lambda 2t. Right, so all we have to do is we have to compute this integral. So this is dt. So this is going to be e power minus lambda 2t lambda 1 n naught can be taken outside because those are constants, e power lambda 2 minus lambda 1 t dt okay. So this is your n2. Alright, now we still have to find the integration constant. Okay, so it is given to you that at it's given that at t equal to 0 sample is pure radium, right? Which means that at t equal to 0 n1 is n naught and n2 is 0, right? Because there is no n2, there is no radon. Alright, so we can now substitute for this here. So n2 we found was lambda 1 n naught by lambda 2 minus lambda 1 e power minus lambda 2t e power lambda 2 minus lambda 1 into t plus e power minus lambda 2 t. Okay, so this equation can be simplified by lambda 1 n naught by lambda 2 minus lambda 1 and this can get cancelled, so we are left with e power minus lambda 1 t plus c into e power minus lambda 2 t. So we still have to find c. So at t equal to 0 n2 is 0, so we can substitute that. So we get 0 is equal to lambda 1 n naught by lambda 2 minus lambda 1 into 1 plus c into 1, right? So c is nothing but minus lambda 1 n naught by lambda 2 minus lambda 1. Now after substituting everything we can get the solution for n2, which will be nothing but lambda 1 n naught and lambda 2 minus lambda 1 e power minus lambda 1 t minus e power minus lambda 2 t. So this is going to be your solution for n2. Okay, all right. Let's also solve the same problem using Laplace transform, because Laplace transform makes our life very easy. Okay, so solve same problem using Laplace transform. Alright, so we'll solve it and then let's verify that what we've got is correct or not. If both the methods give you the same answer, then of course your answer is most of the times that means that your answer is correct. Unless you made a mistake, your answer will be correct. So let's write down the equation. dn1 by dt is equal to minus lambda 1 n1. dn2 by dt is equal to lambda 2 n2 minus lambda 1 lambda 1 n1, right? Lambda 1 n1 minus lambda 2 n2. These are your equations, and it is given that n1 at time 0 is n0 and n2 at time 0 is 0, right? This is also given to you in the question. So now let's try to solve this. So first of all, dn1 by dt. So when you take Laplace transform of dn1 by dt, okay, what will you get? You get n1 p n1 of p minus n1 of 0 is equal to minus lambda 1 n1 of p. Alright, so here I am using the differential formula of the Laplace transform. Okay, so you will have p plus lambda 1 n1 of p is equal to n1 of 0. So what is n1 of 0? n1 of 0 is nothing but n naught. Okay, so you are going to get n1 of p is going to be n naught by p plus lambda 1. Now what you have to do, so this is in terms of Laplace transform, right? Now what you have to do is you have to take the Laplace inverse of these. So if you take Laplace inverse of these, and this you know the formula now, right? So you will get back n1 of t from here. If you take Laplace inverse of n1 of p, you will get back n1 of t, and here you will get n naught is constant and 1 by p plus lambda 1. So the formula for that is e power minus lambda 1 into t. So this is your solution for n1 of t. Now let's do it for n2. So we had dn2 by dt is equal to lambda 1 n1 minus lambda 2 n2. And what is n1? n1 is n naught e power minus. So let's substitute that, lambda 1 n naught e power minus lambda 1 t minus lambda 2 n2. So we have dn2 by dt is equal to lambda 1 n naught e power minus lambda t, right, minus n2 minus lambda 2 n2. Okay, so now we can apply the same kind of thing here, and what we will get, we'll get p n2 of p minus n2 of 0 is equal to, now L1 and N0 are constant and we have to take, so we have to take the Laplace transform of e power minus lambda t. So what is Laplace transform e power minus lambda t? Lambda 1 n naught by p plus lambda 1. Okay. And then you are left with minus lambda 2 n2. So this is nothing but minus lambda 2 n2 of p. Okay. So now we can take this to the other side. So we'll have p plus lambda 2 n2 of p, and n2 of 0 is 0. So we are left with n1 lambda 1 n naught by p plus lambda 1. So we have n2 of p is equal to lambda 1 n naught 1 by p plus lambda 1 1 by p plus lambda 2. Now you see that this is of the form f of p g of p, right? So you can take a convolution, okay, because these are products of two Laplace transforms. So if you want to get inverse Laplace transform, you can use the convolution formula, right? So if f of p is 1 by p plus lambda 1, then f of t would be e power minus lambda t, and similarly here g of t would be e power minus lambda 2t. And what we want n2 of t, which is going to be lambda 1 and n naught are constants, so you take it outside, 0 to t f of tau g of t minus tau d tau. So this is what we want. Okay, so lambda 1 n naught 0 to t, what is f of tau? E power minus lambda 1 tau. G of t minus tau is e power minus lambda 2 t minus tau d tau. Okay, that's it. Now all we have to do is we have to do this integration. So lambda 1 n naught e power minus lambda 2t can come out, and we are left with 0 to t e power lambda 2 minus lambda 1 into tau theta. Now we have to, this is a definite integral, so we integrate from 0 to t. So this is your n2 of t. Let's write it again, lambda 1 n naught by lambda 2 minus lambda 1 into e power minus lambda 2t e power lambda 2 minus lambda 1 into tau from 0 to t. So we are going to get lambda 1 n naught by lambda 2 minus lambda 1 e power minus lambda 2t t, and this is e power 0, so that is 1. Alright, so all we have to do is now we have to just simplify it. And we'll get e power minus lambda 1t minus e power minus lambda 2t. So you can see that both with Laplace transform and with just using the integrating factor method, we get the same result, right? So this is our equation. Alright. So I am going to give you some problems and then stop here. Solve for y in terms of x. One plus e power x y dash plus 2 e power x y is equal to 1 plus e power x into e power x. B is y dash plus y cos x is equal to sine 2x. Alright. And the second question, so these are homework problems, okay, and don't get confused. So the second homework problem will be displayed here. Alright.